Oh, wait a minute.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Andrew.
It's freaking me out.
Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour for this Thursday, February 11th, 2020.
It's all going according to plan.
It is all going according to plan. Um, I'm your host, Andrew Barnes. Let's jump right in with introductions, and we'll start with Brad. Say hello, Brad.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brad Tilton, and I am a developer advocate with a developer program here at ServiceNow.
Hi, Chuck Tomasi, Senior Developer Advocate at ServiceNow, and I'll be your bartender today. Give you one of those Isaac from the Love Boat things.
And I'm Andrew Barnes, Developer Advocate here at ServiceNow. Sporting my Madrid shirt. It's a little out of date. It's not quite Quebec-y, but I'm feeling the family release love on my shirt today. So glad everyone is here. Let us introduce our beverages of choice for this lovely Thursday.
I have a fun one today. It's a Shiner. It's their Bock, but it's barrel aged, which I have never seen before. So I'm excited.
Ooh,
It sounds good.
that does sound good.
I have yet to make it to the liquor store for some beer, or the grocery store for some beer, or even out my front door for some beer. So I went to the liquor cabinet and mixed me up a nice Bloody Mary.
And I have a sour cranberry lime from Edmund's Host, which is already good. And it's 2021. Thank you, Casey. I think I must have done it wrong. But that's just how we're rolling today, because it's Thursday. We're 15 minutes off normal start time. It's all good. We're delighted that you're joining us here today. And we are in our early release for Quebec, not Madrid. So what we're going to do today is we're going to visit one of our apps that we work on along the way. And Brad and I both love smoking meat and, well, whatever, but mostly it's meat. And so he's got a cooking app that he has been working on and, periodically on the show. And today, what we're going to do is, and Brad will tell us a little bit more, but we're going to be looking at what Quebec features we can bring into that app in the context of mobile. So we've been doing a little mobile theme this week, and we're ending it here on this Thursday with mobile in Quebec on our cooking app. Do you have any more detail to share on what we're going to get into, or do you want to dive right in, sir?
Sure. Let me share a little more. We have this cooking app, and it keeps track of our long cooks. So you might smoke a pork butt or a brisket. It might take 18 hours. And you don't remember everything that you did over that 18 hours when you added things and wrapped things up and all that. So it's generally like pitmasters keep a logbook, and this is our digital logbook that keeps track of that. So what we want to do today is we have a pretty simple little mobile app. And what we want to do is make it easier to add log entries to our cook from that mobile app. And there is a Quebec feature called parameter screens. The Zoom window is covering up the docs article. I think that's what it's called. It's parameter something.
Get out of the way, Zoom.
He's
mobile.
clearly reading.
And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to configure a parameter screen. I played around with this a little bit earlier this week, and it is really a nicer way to configure an input into mobile. So it used to take a few different steps, and it was a lot of different records that you had to link together, and it wasn't real obvious. And this one, once you get the hang of it, I think it'll be a lot easier to configure inputs into your mobile app.
And if we, we had a video earlier this week in our new show, Creator Toolbox, that we launched this week. And that was focused specifically just on the mobile UI builder that is available here in Quebec as well. So you can go check that out in the channel. It's probably the most recent video in the channel right now. So you can see Brad and Chuck work with two of the product managers from mobile, walk through that UI Builder video. So with that, let's dive in the screen share and get rolling and building, because there's building, which is more fun than talking.
All right, let's go ahead and share my whole desktop here, which is always scary.
That's risky.
But I have to bring in a mobile window. All right, how do we look here? That doesn't look bad. All right, so this is my docs article here for configure a mobile screen. If you're gonna do this, this is the place to start, which just parameter screen. Just search parameter screen and you'll end up here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna configure this parameter screen, then we're gonna hook it up to our action item, and then we're gonna hook that action item up to an action, and then we're gonna hook that action up to an applet. And
Ooh.
let me show what the app looks like here. This is my mobile device. And so you can see we've got my, let me make that a little smaller so you guys can see.
Not to sidetrack you, but for the other developers who need to do a screen share like this, why don't you tell them how you got your mobile device on your screen so they can do similar things internally when they're presenting?
So I am on a Mac with an iPhone, which makes it fairly easy, although maybe not. If I had to pick any way to do this, it might not be QuickTime, or that doesn't seem like the way. But you just open up QuickTime, and then you go to new screen recording, and then one of the inputs for your screen recording can be my iPhone. So
You're connected with your lightning cable.
I am connected with my lightning cable. Oh, and I don't think you guys can see that anymore.
There you go. And when you do that, there's this little weird artifact that the time always says 9:41. So if you've ever seen a demo that says 9:41, you're looking at a recording. If you're an Android user, you can use an app that I did on Creator Toolbox on Tuesday called AirDroid Cast, which is free, and it has an app. It does run over Wi-Fi, so danger if you're on a remote location or a customer site or whatever, but that should work as well.
Awesome. Thanks for that sidetrack, Brad.
Yeah, it gave me a chance to try this beer. It's pretty good. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get going here. I'm going to click into my instance and I'm going to log in. So one of the, right off the bat here, there's something that we need from the docs, and we're going to have to navigate directly to this table. It's not available in Mobile Studio yet. So we're going to navigate to this table. And then I'm also going to open my app up in Studio. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I'm going to make sure that I'm in the right scope. And this will put me in the right scope.
It's clearly not one of my instances, because if you type COOK, you're going to get cookies at some point.
Nice. All right, so let's see what we have for mobile in here. So we've got a few different things for mobile. I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to take that active cooks applet, and once you click into a cook, we're going to be able to add a log entry to that cook. And it might be nice to see. Let's just show real quick. I'm going to put this back up here, and we'll click into what that looks like. So I created a cook for today. This is my live coding happy hour pork butt. And then if I click into that pork butt, we have some details like what kind of fuel I'm using, what thermometer I'm using. And then if I go into the related list, this is where I have this log of there's going to be an entry every time I do something. So that's my goal. When I start the fire, when I put the meat on, when I add a log, I can have it check temps for me. So all of those are going to be in my cook log, and then I can go back and look at it and see, what happened and what went wrong most of the time, but sometimes, what I did right.
Awesome.
All right, so let's look. We've got this parameter screen here. And I'm going to hit new, and we're going to get a new record. So I'm going to name it. Oh. Add log entry. This seems like a good name. Let's not give it a description. Pagination, I'm going to turn off for now, but I think maybe if we get this working, we can play around with this a little bit.
Okay.
And then our buttons. So when we do this, there's going to be for submit and cancel are going to be at the top. So those are pretty straightforward, but we can change the label of those buttons, which is a kind of a nice little feature. And then if we're using pagination, we can label, the next page and the previous page here. I'm also, let's look at some of these other things. Fetch type, I haven't messed around with this a little bit, but I think it does kind of what you think it would do here. So when is it getting data, I'm assuming?
Seem like reasonable types of fetching options.
Yeah. And then if it's active or not, header view config. So when we look at the input screen, we'll kind of show what this could look like. But you can basically, you can add more to the top of this input screen. So it's not, immediately an input box or something like that. So yeah, let's start there. So there's, let's go ahead and save it. There's a couple of different concepts. There's a couple. Yeah.
Chuck,
Yeah.
We seem to be getting a very limited amount of the screen.
And I am trying to change that, but
Okay.
I
just wanted to know that you were on it.
Well, I keep playing around.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I can't grab any more of the region. Is that under the properties of the screen share?
I think you can pull that box down and give more of the
It's just
bottom.
it's just stretching what I got.
If you use the arrow keys, you should be able to move it down.
Arrow just slides it around like if I grab it and drag it. I tried control click. I'm out of my depth on OBS.
Okay. So I don't think we need the instance header as the...
Yeah, but if I do that, we're just going to have the same thing bigger.
Okay. Well, I'll hopefully we get a little bit more.
I'll keep working on it on this end.
So can you see the inputs? Here, let's do this then. And then we can scroll up. There we go. All right, so with this parameter screen, there's a couple of different things that I'm going to define. So I can define the inputs here. So this is, pretty self-explanatory. That's what you're going to see on the screen. That's what you're going to have to fill out. And then the other thing are these variables, and you can use these variables for a couple of different things. We're going to use one of these variables to pass the sysid of the cook record to my cook log record so that they're associated with each other. So let's go ahead and create one of these inputs. So the main thing that we want to fill out is on my cook log record. The main thing that we have there is a category field, and it's things like started the fire, added a log, basically the action that you're taking. So we're going to do that. And then input type is going to be a choice. And then I guess let's give it an order. And I do want this to be mandatory. And then I think for now, let's just stop at the category. That's all we want to put in. Most of the other values I think are going to autofill, but we can test that out. Then I think the other thing we're going to need is the variable. So this is going to be, let's just call it cook ID. And this is going to be one of these variable types. So we've got some different variable types, and these variables are used again to populate a data, or you can use them to pre-fill the inputs. So we're going to use database field because I want the sys from the cook record to be populated here. But you could use things like the GPS coordinates from the phone, information about the user, or just, you know, a constant. So this would be just, you know, something you put in there, probably a string. We're going to use database field. So I'm going to save. And then there is kind of a, there's a bit of configuring you have to do here. So this is the category, and we have to give it some choices, and we can do this like a typical choice field where we can define the choices, or I can just tell it to look at my table where the choices live already and pull them from there. And so that's what we're going to do. But to do that, we are going to have to use, where are those? So it gives us some attributes that we're going to need to manually add here. So where's our choice inputs? So we're going to need to give it a render type, and it can be checklist or image. And we may play around with an image render type. And then we're going to need to give it a table, I think.
Still working.
Do you want me to take it over?
Yeah,
I'm happy to.
If you would. I just cannot get that image stretched.
No problem.
This feels a little bit like our hotel room recording.
Ouch.
The live code happy hour that never happened.
That never happened. We are back. So sorry about that. So we should be good.
And we're done. No, I'm just kidding.
And we're done. Excellent work.
All right. So I am in a different window grabbing the name of my table. It is S&C Cook Management Log. That's a good table name. And then the last one was field, and that field is also called category. All right, so what we have done here is we've told it, hey, we want you to render as a checklist, or we want you to render as a list instead of a series of images. And then we've pointed it at a table and a field. I expect that, you know, future releases, I have, you know, no inside knowledge other than having been around a while. And I expect in future releases, these types of things will be drop downs and easier to add. So we have set up the category, and then the one other thing we're going to do is for the cook ID, I'm trying to remember what this is called. All right, so now we're going to cheat because I made sure I know how this works. And I have another one here. Oh, but I didn't do it here. I'm pretty sure our attribute is called field here. And we want the sys ID. All right, I believe this is now usable.
That's minimum viable product.
So we've got this screen, it's got an input field, and then I think this may be the right, the input we use there. If not, I have a PowerPoint deck somewhere that's going to be able to tell me what the name of it is. So let's go into Studio and let's hook this thing up to an action item and an action. So let's create a new action item. And we're going to call this add log entry. And it's going to create a new record on the table, not cookies.
Not cookies.
Our cook log table. And then
You can give
I'm
yourself a little more screen if you need, Brad. So you can go all the way to
right.
the halfway mark on those circles.
Oh, nice. All right, so for parameter screen, we've got add log entry, and then I need to save it. And let's come in a little bit. And so I want to set the category field. We're going to use the martini olive to my input category. And you'll notice I have my variable available here too. And then I want to set my cook field to the cook ID. So that was my action item. Now I need an action. And we'll add log entry. And we'll associate this with an action item, which was also add log entry. And then for this one, the table is going to be the table that it's running on. And this is important because this sets the context for my parameter screen. So that variable in my parameter screen is going to look at this table that it's running on in order to grab that sys-id field, which is nice because I don't have to, this should be all I have to do to get that hooked up. I don't need any UI parameters or anything like that.
Oh, nice.
Right, assuming this works, that is the case.
Famous last words. Assume. Assume and should.
All right, and the last thing we do is we add it to our applet. So I'm in my Active Cooks applet. I'm going to the form screen. So after I click into an individual cook, I'm going to add a function.
What kind of function would you like?
And then I want this one.
An add in log entry. Nice. It was right there at the top.
Log entry. And then I think it's saved, but I don't like that I have a green dot.
Yeah, the green dot
button is grayed out.
Yeah, I've seen that a number of times. All screen dot.
What I like to do is
something.
I don't have a form to.
Nope.
There we go.
Yeah. Move one up and down and then save.
Yeah, let's just change these. There we go. I just really like to save, so it bugs me that I can't save there.
I really like to
Right.
save too, and I like the green dot being away. Like
All right.
no green
so
dot.
I think this should work now.
Ooh.
Now you get
Well,
to
I'm
use the
excited.
Quebec feature.
Yeah, so now I'm going to pull down, and I should have refreshed my configuration, right?
That's the theory.
All right. So let's go into my cook here. And, oh, we have an add log entry.
Sweet.
I'm going to click on it.
Ooh.
So because I only have one input field, it's just going to give me that input. I don't have to click into the category, which I think is really nice. And I did not specify a header, so the only thing it's going to show me is that that input field. So let's go ahead. Let's say I added some fuel, and now I have the submit button. And please don't tell me it failed. Oh,
Oh.
Darn.
hate that red error message. So I suspect that the reason I have failed is because this variable, I don't think this is actually named field. I think it's called something else.
Oh.
And I think that is what did it. So you two talk amongst yourselves.
Ooh, I can talk.
Just a minute.
So
look up.
a thing I didn't want to get distracted with earlier was but a couple of weeks ago, Chuck, we were looking at Flow Designer, and we've got the new UI refresh for Flow Designer in Quebec. And I noted that they changed our little Olive Martini.
The data pill picker.
The
Yeah,
data
it looks
pill
more like
picker.
that. Yep.
But then we looked at this today,
Yep.
and it's still using the
still
old
there.
one.
I'm guessing ATF
And-
is still legacy as well.
And I was, I wanted to denote that. I was like, is that a UI or a Flow Designer specific pill? Pill picker? I hope not. I hope that maybe that just gets adopted by everything.
I would hope
maybe
so
in
too.
Rome.
Yeah.
But that's going to be something that I look into, because I don't want the same button to be different icons on different
Yes.
screens.
It turns out this attribute name was field name.
Field name
I was
versus
so
field?
close.
The name for it should be field name instead of field.
All right. So that may have fixed it.
Ooh, I love
Probably
it being
not,
fixed.
but it might have. All right. Oh,
I've got 14 pounds of pork butt to cook tomorrow.
That's a lot of meat, buddy.
no failed
I'm
message.
excited.
Let's see if, I think we got another cook log. Added fuel. Is that right now? It is.
That looks like right
418.
now.
So it worked.
Nice.
All
I love that it picks the it gives you the categories right there, like just bam.
So that is really nice. One of the other things I really like about this is that I didn't really have to, like, all of the parameters and everything I configured were in that they were in that screen. I didn't have to go up and build these UI parameters separately, which I think is the old way to do that. I always had trouble passing values between different screens in the mobile interface.
It always was a struggle for me as well. So this
It was very
seems
repetitious too. It was, if I had 8 fields that I wanted to put on the form, which is probably a lot for a mobile application, but you would have to do the UI parameters 8 times. You'd have to go back and do the input parameters 8 times. And you'd have to map them together 8 times. It made for very boring labs at Knowledge.
Yeah, it felt like it programmatically could have been easier.
I agree 100%.
Oh,
So
Just as an FYI, we had an internal meeting this morning, and one of the comments was, do we have it on the roadmap to make the mobile configuration a bit easier for no code, low code people? And Andrew and I both applauded silently to ourselves. I think, Brad, you saw that too.
Yeah, I saw that. So we have a couple of things that we can try here. We have some time. So we can add some more inputs and see if we can. So one of the things that we can do is set a timestamp. It automatically sets it to the current time. But sometimes, I may not remember to do this until 5 minutes later, but I want it to reflect when I actually did it. So we can do that. And then the other thing that we can do is the choice field should be able to be rendered as a regular choice field or images.
Oh, wow.
Might be kind of fun to make those images. And if we do images, I think we can do some audience participation.
I want images. Let's do images.
Let's do that.
Absolutely.
All right. So
the timestamp change is more useful, but I want images.
Let's see if it tells me. I kind of know how to do these images. So we're going to need some help from the audience because I'm going to need some URLs of images for let's just do a few. We need let's do start at a fire, added wood to the fire, and what's another how about added food? So like food on a grill. And then how do so this is no longer a checklist. Choice inputs, right? So it is.
Yeah, it felt a little weird as a checklist because you only wanted one of them anyway, though.
Yeah.
For
that's just the
app.
name of what they say for a choice list. So image.
We have two different terms between mobile and the standard platform. Shock and awe.
Oh, we need our own table for this? No. That's all right. So render type needs to be image. I wonder if we change that if we get a different choices here. And we'll take those out. There we go. So let's say started fire. We're going to need to know
so
what
you need to get those values from the actual field.
I have this up on another screen. And they are the same. Let's say one. And we'll just do added food. All right, so we need some image URLs here.
I haven't gotten any yet. I'm really disappointed.
Oh, come on. Here,
Chuck, are you looking for any? I tried to solicit some help, but I haven't gotten any yet. So
all right, you want images of what specific?
Start fire, add wood, and add food to grill.
I'm grabbing one of firewood, and we'll see.
Okay, icon, add food to grill.
I'm gonna grab it from the place I get my firewood from.
All right.
Maybe. How does he have his website here?
Copy link address.
Copy image address. Oh, let's do this one.
Send it over in the Zoom chat. Holy long URLs.
Whoa.
Should have gone with Bitly on that one. Oh, it's got a Google wrapper around it. That's why it's so long.
All right. Which one was this?
Add food to grill.
Oh, okay. Oh, I did the firewood for.
You need
Here,
another
let's-
one? You need a third one?
Yeah, we need one of
Start
probably
fire?
just a fire. Yeah.
Start fire.
Here, I got one here.
Picture of Drew Barrymore? What? Sorry, that was a really far off reference.
All right. I grabbed some. So one of the cool things about this is there's a selected image URL. So you can have it change if you've selected
Oh yeah,
it.
like okay, nice.
Yeah, so like you could change the color on it or something like that so that somebody knows it's selected. That's way too fancy for live code, so we're not going to.
MVP, buddy, MVP.
So let's
broadcasting the stream is apparently too fancy for
need to go
live
back
code
here.
today.
Let's come down a little. All right, so active cooks, and eventually I would like to have less clicks.
Sure.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh,
2 out of 3.
Your
2
link
out of
didn't
3.
work, Chuck.
Yeah,
So we have
it's-
started fire. So let's see if it actually works.
Mine failed.
Except that's not the one I want. Let's add some more fuel.
Can you grab him the not Googled?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Wrapped.
working on right now.
Awesome.
And it looked like that one worked too.
Bam.
This might be somebody's catalog that I'm clicking into. I'll try a different one.
So again, that was the log entry. So let's do let's see what it looks like if we add another
Another choice.
if we add another choice. Well, can we go back? No, we were already there. So let's add timestamp. I know is one of the. This is going to be date time, I think. So I don't have access to all of the choices, but I do have a good number of types here. So the good ones.
The good ones. Only a select few get to come to this area.
And I'm not going to make this mandatory. I wonder, can I do? Let's try it.
Ooh, like a now time in the placeholder.
I mean, I think if I leave it blank, the platform's going to give me a now time anyway. So then we need to map this to the action item.
Field.
To the field in the action item. So I have a timestamp field, and I need to refresh this. All right, here's my timestamp field. And there it is. And while we're here, we might as well update that.
Yeah, I sent you a different food on grill URL. Hopefully that works. I got to be able to contribute something to this show today.
All right, so let's see if that worked.
So our expectation is we get the new image and a choice for timestamp. Oh,
All right, so now we have 2 fields, so we don't automatically get all the categories. Ooh, I like that. Added food. Let's pretend we added food. And now I do the timestamp. So when I hit the timestamp, it's going to give me the current time. So that sounds good.
That seems reasonable.
Let's submit. And did that work? 4. That looks right.
I still wonder if the placeholder might not be able to put the time there, and only if I click it do I want to change it.
Like give it a default value?
Yeah, I don't know if that, I mean, that seems like what the placeholder should do, but yeah.
Just not sure if it can do date time placeholders.
Let's do one. Let's do one thing and add pagination.
Ooh.
So I think we hit all, and I think it's gonna do that for us.
Pagination for the related list, or where are we going to see this?
This should show up. So basically, each of our
Does that turn the inputs into
yes,
2 separate screens?
yes. So it helps, especially if you have a lot of inputs. It'll help somebody kind of walk through. And this is actually
Yeah, because it's like
technology.
a stepper at that point, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your
So this
category.
Nice.
This is the technology that they're using for the surveys.
Huh.
Awesome.
Okay.
I'm glad that it was what my expectation was.
So it does. You can't put multiples on one page and then go to the next page.
I
Just one
don't
per
think
page.
so. I think that's correct. I think
Okay.
just one per page. So submit, and we got it in the cook log.
Well, and it gives you that auto interaction piece, like the category was unfurled like it was when there was only one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're only
Yeah.
on one page, it unfurls them already for you and makes it easier to select these. So you don't have to
Which,
click, then click, then click, then
Yeah.
click. You just, get to choose your thing and then go.
Mhm.
Ooh, I wonder
that
if
would-
double click like makes it. Does double
ahead.
click?
Double click
Do
the
it?
pork chop.
It did work.
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's better. That's better.
That's
oh, actually, it's a single click does that too.
Oh,
oh
okay.
sweet.
It,
Saves
I love
you a
it.
click.
I don't want to hit next.
yeah. So,
Right.
so I think if you can tell your choice list if you want it to be multi-select. So I guess if we had told it multi-select, then
you would
Then
need
it
the
would
next.
wait.
hit next.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you, mobile people, for doing it that way.
It is
Thank
nice.
you. I am both, critical of our platform and thankful when appropriate. And right now, I'm thankful for that.
What else do we have? So this this
I-
docs
I think
article
that's-
is definitely your friend.
I think that's a fine
Yeah.
feature stopping point. Like, unless you just are excited to do something else, I think
No, we did all of the
Nailed it.
extra stuff. We got it. So we'll put this in the notes, but it's parameter screen, action item, action, hook it up to an applet.
Great way to round out the mobile week.
It really was. That is looking slick and was not
Ooh.
painful. The having to know which table to go to is a little but once you know that that's the thing, then and it seems well documented, so I like it.
We have
Very
a
slick.
mobile impersonation demo question. I don't think I have the right plugin installed for that. Let's see. See, this is how we do things as well.
Yeah, it's true.
As an administrator,
Enable or disable it on the mobile apps.
settings.
Is it
Oh, do
in
I?
the settings?
Yeah, I don't think I have it enabled, I guess, because I don't have that in the settings. Where did my screen go? Ah.
Let's check real quick.
I think you're supposed to be able to click on your name. I wonder if it's a plugin.
Smells like it. Nick said he couldn't get it to work either and posted it to the community.
So you were setting us up for not success, huh, Nick?
The user.
Thanks for that.
I am guessing there is a plugin somewhere, or there, maybe there's some settings somewhere that we don't know about. But all right, I am going to stop the share.
It might be something like the bookmarks too, because bookmarks are not available on now mobile by default, but if you add it to your nav bar, then they are.
Well, that was just delightful, Brad. Thank you so much for walking us through that.
Nicely
I
done.
thoroughly enjoyed it because I've not seen any of that yet. So that was fantastic for me, at least.
It was
So
fun to
hopefully
get
it was
into
good.
Andrew,
Good for
what's our
everybody
topic
else
for
too.
next week?
Our topic for next week. Oh, we've got two
We have a theme.
things. We've got a theme for next week. So it's Now Intelligence Week. So I'm going to be highlighting some of the new capabilities in Now Intelligence on Tuesday and on the live code on Friday. We've got a lot of cool new things in the Now Intelligence area. I'm not going to reveal what all of the shows are going to be about, but you're going to enjoy them, and they're going to be useful things for you as a ServiceNow developer to leverage in your organization. I will let one of them sneak, which is AI search will definitely be highlighted next week for sure. It is so good. We've rolled out the AI search in, was it high? I think it's high.
Sounds right.
High/support.
High/support.
Support.
So support rolled out AI search, I believe, last week. And they have said that it's 5 times faster on high.
Wow, that's impressive.
Search something right now.
So it is purported to be the bee's knees.
Search for cookies.
And I'm search for cookies. And so I'm excited about highlighting those capabilities next week. Chuck, for you, it wasn't your fault. It was my fault on the technical difficulties you had today. They were completely mine. And it's because I did an unauthorized change right before the show.
Yeah, upside down. Andrew gave you grief about that. Who made this unauthorized change?
So
The emergency
that was
change
me.
did not have the right approvals.
I didn't.
No problem. Glad we were able to get
the
through
the right thing done. So that was great, Brad. I really,
Yeah.
that was so cool. Like I want to go build a mobile app now. Like that was, I was like, oh yeah, that was not painful. Let's do it. I want to add new features. But let us wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining us. We will take a look at some more features next week. But for now, let us rate our beverages so we can move into Friday.
My
Brad?
barrel-aged Shiner Bock was pretty good. I'm going to give it a 4.25.
Ooh, a 4.25. Yeah, I really have never heard of the barrel aged Shiner Bock.
Hadn't
before.
either.
Like that's sounds new, or newly expanded market penetration there. Chuck, how was your tasty cocktail?
Brad, were you able to finish your
Oh, I
Your
have a
Brad-
lot left still.
Brad never finishes his
Not
beer
when I'm
on the
driving.
show. Like,
Yeah, that's always the tough part, is taking a drink when you're doing the presentation. Mine's gone, and I must say I make a pretty decent Bloody Mary. I give that a 4.5.
nice, nailed it. So that's got a little glare on it. Sour, cranberry, lime, and I'm not a fan of cranberries, so
I am. I want one of those.
this is delicious. This is just my kind of speed on a sour. We got some victory and failure, so that they're going to cancel out a little bit. So we'll just nail it at 4.5. A
Nice.
plus work there. Would drink again. So good. I wish I didn't have to have people find these and bring them to me, because we can't get them. They're brewed in Charleston, but they sell out so fast. They don't make it all the way to my part of North Carolina before
Andrew's
they're
doing the
gone.
cannonball run between his house and Charlotte.
So that was a ton of fun. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We love having you on the show, and thank you for the participation. And we will see you next time. Have a great weekend.
Take care. Stay safe, everybody.